Hello, Oracles! So does Elon still have to sell any shares? We did not get any Form 4 filings last night coming out of Tesla or Elon, so we do not see anything for him selling shares on Monday. So what does that mean? Well, let's take a look and say if he didn't sell on Monday, we still have Tuesday. We did see a little bit of selling pressure at the end of the day Tuesday. Nothing major, wasn't even really noticeable. So theoretically, we could get a Form 4 filing at any point today if he did sell shares on Tuesday. So now if he did get more financial backers coming in, then he would have needed less than the $5 billion that we had estimated that he would have needed. So if that's the case, he would have had a lot less to sell. Maybe that ended up coming through on Tuesday. We won't know for sure until the end of the day today. Maybe he got enough financial backers coming in where he didn't need to sell at all, and the sell-off that we saw on Monday was just an overreaction to the 10Q and the information we had gotten out of China. So, a lot of these unknowns that are out there. Obviously, the biggest question right now is, does Elon still have shares to sell? We know based on the information we saw yesterday, it sounds like Elon is definitely going to be settling on this deal on Friday. Sounds like Twitter's on board, Elon's on board, and they're going to be doing it for the $54.20 per share. So it looks like this should be going through tomorrow, Friday, and we'll find out all the information after that, hopefully. So of course, Farzad for the last couple of months has been saying, book it for after hours on a Friday that we're going to get the information. This may actually happen tomorrow, so we'll see what happens then. And now I had posed a question to Gary Black over on Twitter, and he has not responded yet, asking if, does Elon actually have to have the money on Friday for this deal to close? Now, I would say he does. Just like when you're going to buy a house, you need to have all of the money there, whether it's the down payment or the loans from the bank, but all the money needs to be present at the time of that purchase. So I have a feeling that he's going to need to have the money coming up. So some people have a theory out there that he's going to be using a bridge loan that'll last for a couple of weeks. This is something where I'll say, hey, you know what, for a short period of time, we're going to get this money here, finish this deal off, and then I've got 2 weeks to get this money back in and pay you guys off, which in turn would allow him to be able to sell these shares. Some people on the Tesla Q community are saying that he's doing this intentionally to say that the sale is over and then the stock can run back up and he'll sell it for a higher price. Who knows what's going to happen? As we've seen all year long this year, when Elon has sold, he has actually sold for a loss. So it's not like Elon's one of those guys who's going to boost the stock up intentionally to sell at a high price, because if that was the case, then he would have sold at higher prices earlier this year, and he did not do that. So again, we don't know what's going on, but to get the clarification from Elon would be very important. And as many others had mentioned, it's not as much about him having to sell shares or come up with this money. It's about the integrity as well and his openness with the whole entire Tesla community. Is he going to be selling these shares? Is he done selling these? He said he was done. Is he actually done? And I know previously he said he had no more planned sales, and then he sold again in August, but plans do change, so that has changed over time. And in August when he sold, he said he was selling back then, just in case, anybody backed out of the deal. So we wanted to make sure he had the money for this. So maybe he did have enough back then and we didn't do the math correctly on it. We don't know for sure, but this seems like it is now going through, and him coming through and being able to tell us openly, yes, I am done selling, and actually being done would be very important as well. And I've been having a lot of great conversations with all of you about whether you like him buying it, whether you don't like him buying it or not. Personally, again, I do like him buying it. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do with the platform and how he's going to actually integrate it with Tesla. We were talking with Farzad the other day, and I have no doubt that that is going to be something that's going to be default in every Tesla going forward. You're going to get into your vehicle, you're going to see, on your dashboard, x.com is going to pop right up, and you're going to have everything at your disposal right there, and that is going to be your full way to communicate with the entire world right from your vehicle. I have a feeling that's what we're going to see in the future, but, agreed with all of you as well, I'd like this to be done with. I just want this drama and overhang to be over, and we can get on with the hangover from the overhang, and then we'll go on from here. So I do like him buying it, but I would like this to get out of our way, and we can move forward and focus back on Tesla again as well, and then hopefully we can bring these two together in the future. And so speaking about Tesla, I did get assigned my VIN number for my Model Y. So I have not gotten the official text to tell me that my delivery is ready. I just have the prepare for delivery on the order page itself. And then my VIN is telling me that it is coming from Austin. So that is exciting. So again, I do plan on delaying this if I can and pushing it off to next year. If I cannot, I will probably end up canceling the order and reordering again for next year. Just doing something wise for my own finances. So that's what my plan is going to be. But it's good to see that even now, my vehicle up here in Connecticut would be coming out of Austin. So we know that Austin obviously logistically would be easier to ship here than it would be coming from Fremont. Now, of course, the question I would have is, would my vehicle have the 4680s or the 2170s? We know that they are producing both down there. I just do not know which one I would be getting. So I don't know if I can actually ask that. You guys can let me know in the comments below if you actually know. If I could ask them, hey, do you know what battery this is going to have in it? The VIN I do not believe has that on it. That information is not on there. So you guys can let me know how I would be able to find out that information. But again, I don't plan on taking this one anyway, but it'd be nice to have that information. And now Ford came out with their earnings yesterday. They missed EPS, but they beat revenues. And now, as I've said before, I think Ford is going to be one of the good legacy automotive makers. They seem to be on the right track. They've brought themselves down to their niche market, so they have a lot less extra pieces to deal with like a GM does. But they missed their EPS, and that may actually be because they're selling more EVs now than GM is. So because they have more EVs mixed in with the rest of their lineup with their ICE vehicles, that could have brought things down. I don't know. I did not dive into their financials, but I did see that in their financials they had mentioned something about full self-driving and going forward with that technology, and that they would not be producing it themselves and would probably outsource it from somewhere else. Perhaps that is where Tesla is going to be coming in. This is what Elon has been talking about, how, they have no problems licensing out their FSD software to other automotive makers. So looking at all this going forward, obviously Ford has decided that that is not something they want to take on. It is going to be outside of their scope, so they're going to be reaching out to others to do this. So Tesla right now seems to be the leader as far as we can see, and we'll go forward. And if Tesla can solve this and they are the first ones, perhaps Ford may be their first customer in picking up FSD. So you guys can let me know your thoughts in the comments about that, if you think Ford would end up licensing out FSD from Tesla or if they're going to go to another source. I have a feeling that Jim Farley has enough respect for Elon to not be like, you know what, we are too good for them, we're not going to take on Tesla because they're our competitor. I have a feeling Jim would go that route if they saw that Tesla had the best product and it would benefit them. They would probably go ahead and partner up with them. So we'll see about that in the future. So now sliding over to the stock just to finish up today. So the stock price, again, we are still on the downward trend. So it was nice that we closed over 223. I would like to see us continue to close over 223. Today on the downward trend, if we can close over 230 today or tomorrow, that would mean that we are breaking out of this downward trend. Looking at the patterns right now, we are looking at an inverse head and shoulders pattern. So this is bigger than the one that we had seen previously. So I will dive into those charts next time I get a chance. My son has a soccer game tonight. Not sure if I'll be able to get it on for you guys tonight and show you that. But if I can, I'll show you, because if we do continue this reversal and come back up, this massive reverse head and shoulders pattern could lead to a very bullish breakout in the future. And if this trend ends up continuing, the way we would trend up is we would come back from here, we would fill the gaps at 235, fill the gap at 265, continue up over $300, then we would see a pullback coming back down, and you can take a look at the other shoulder on the other side and kind of see where it comes down to, which is right around that 265 level again. So theoretically, if this plays out this way, we would see us coming back up, and it's not going to be a straight line, but we could come back up to that 313 level, bounce off, come down to about 265, come back up, test 313 again, and if we break through it at that point, we would then go running back up again. Timing wise, that would be playing out over the next couple of months. So if this is how we play out, so if this plays out and we end up mirroring the first half of what looks to be the inverse head and shoulders pattern, Q4 deliveries that we get in January would be the timing where we would end up breaking out of that 313 and testing it yet again. So again, very early on in just reading the charts here, but that is what my predictions are right now based upon what I'm looking at, and this is what I'm hoping for to see in the future. So again, let me know in the comments below, do you think Elon still has shares that he needs to sell now that we have not seen any Form 4 filings, or do you think that he is done and has enough financial backers and he will give us the all clear maybe Friday afternoon to burn all the shorts and say, hey, I am done selling, and then the stock can jump up big time on Monday and all the shorts get burned? So you guys can let me know about that in the comments. And I want to thank you all for all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. If you found any value in this video, please consider sharing it with others. Like this video. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. We do have a Discord chat. That link is down in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel any further, we do have a membership program and a Patreon. Those links are also in the description. Thank you so much. Have a great one.